Welcome home, brave heroes, and young heroes alike. I'm Ash, this is Ash Quest, and today I'm unboxing and presenting Save the Crown Diamonds, Captain Krabbus Academy, a board game for the young ones to encourage them to venture out into the open world using RNG and a little bit of reasoning to collect jewels. And why does this crab have my facial hair? Why is this just me as a crab? Anyway, this game is available in English, French, and German. All of the instructions are printed in all three of the languages, and it was published by Kinder. Ages 4 to 99, 1 to 4 players. Opening the box, we see that it's actually 2 different game maps. Opening the box, we see there is actually a game board underneath the lid. We are going to use this actively, and don't worry, although it looks like kind of a lot of information, it will all become very clear shortly. This is the main game board upon which the game is played by navigating our ship in this grid above, whilst also spinning a spinner, which we haven't installed yet, in this part to determine which direction our ship is going to go. Very RNG based, this part. The stuff at the bottom is really just English, French, and German words for the ranking that you will achieve if you can finish the game within set time frames. The name of the game here is actually Speed, but we're not going to worry about the speed aspect while learning to play. The box actually hints at the presence of a second game board, and indeed we will actually be playing on this game board as well. Now, I know that all of this looks very kiddish and young and juvenile, but trust me, this could inspire a few mechanics for your homebrew minigames in other board games. Hence why its appearance on the channel here today. Plus, if you're trying to get the young ones involved in your game nights, this might be a great start. Now, we do have instructions here with a very friendly flowchart to help you understand exactly the flow of the game and what to do. And that's all the rulebook is, because it's really just as simple as 2 pages of rules. It is printed, of course, in all 3 languages, and then we have a page of helpful tips on the very back. Now, since there's just one ship to navigate, if you are playing with more than one player, then the cooperative game will split up the 4 different steps of the game between the different participants playing. They'll be kind of playing the role of a sailboat crew then, crew member. Setting the instructions to the side, we have a variety of pretty jewels, diamonds that will go into what is known as the treasure chest, which is right here, the uppermost section of the game box board. We also have our ship, cute wooden model with 3 plastic pieces that will be known as the sails. These sails are essentially our life points. If we get hit by cannons 3 times and we do not find opportunity to replenish our sails, then it's game over. Unfortunately, a lot of the game is RNG, except for maybe how much pressure you spin the spinner with, but the game comes with said spinner on a suction cup. This is going to go right onto the compass graphic in the box lid. And 1 die with a crown symbol, 3 colors, 4 colors, and a wild card symbol. The first thing to do is to pop out all of the colored diamonds. For the purposes of speed, you can group these by shape and color up here. But we won't worry about that today, just playing a more relaxed game. Now, these are the airlocks of your ship, and as you navigate your ship onto different spaces, you'll be rolling this die, and this will tell you which color of the airlock chosen by the space of the board your ship is landed on, you'll be able to manipulate jewels into. If you roll the crown symbol, and there are jewels in the airlock of the letter that you've landed on, you'll be able to take 1 or more of the jewels and bring them down into your ship's hold, with the goal being to fill in, whoops, not like that, that's cheating. Fill in all 4 colors, 3 different shapes of the different jewels. Best to go ahead and put this plan in action. We've installed the spinner, and we'll place our ship on one of the 2 starting spaces, which are the maintenance bays of either this space or this space. And we do not refer to the outside letters in the grid as spaces. Rather, these are directions on where your ship should go if your ship is on the border and you happen to spin the spinner, which I did not install correctly, and it tells you, say, to go south. If you're already here, as south as you can go, this will tell you to go to V. So you then go to V. And if you're here and you have to go south, it'll tell you to go to Y. But if you have to go southeast and you're already on Y, then this arrow tells you that you'll end up going to W. So you'll go to W. And the same holds true for the spaces that are in the north as well as the spaces that are in the east and west. So you'll never get stuck, and in a sort of fun way, it does kind of mimic the place your ship would go were this map wrapped around a sphere. So we'll spin our first spin of the game, and that's north. We land on an O, and the very next thing we do is roll the die. The die is landed on a wildcard color. For reference, our airlock is going to be this one. This one contains the O, and if we consult the rules, Roll the die. Which face did you roll? One face with 4 colors. Is there a diamond in the treasure chest? Yes, all of these are diamonds for the purposes of diamonding. Proceed to step 4B, which is right here. Move the diamond from the treasure chest to the airlock. This diamond can be the color and shape of your choice. So we'll go ahead and just move a red one. It's the very first move of the game. It doesn't really matter. Play proceeds. We spin again. We will roll again after we spin. Southeast, we're going to T. Now we will roll, and that's another wild card. That's pretty lucky. Here's the T symbol, so I'll just drop a green gem in there and we'll spin again for our next move. Now we're going southeast again. The board tells us to go to space U, which is on the opposite side of that board. But here we are. We'll roll the die again, just making sure to try to keep everything in the frame, and there's our yellow. U is here. We can bring in a yellow. Spin again, and we're going to the north. Now we're on Q, and we'll roll our die. For the Q airlock, it's yellow. The Q airlock is here, indicated by the lowercase q, which means we can just bring a diamond, any diamond, into this airlock. We'll go ahead and just grab a blue one. No, it has to be yellow. It has to be yellow. Bring it into the airlock. I got used to rolling those wild cards, I guess. We'll go ahead and spin again. North, it has to be a full rotation, so we'll spin harder this time. North, I'm doomed to go north. We're going to K, and we are rolling the die again. Red for K, and the K is going to be here. Bring a red gem down. Hey, that's serendipitous. It looks like once we roll a crown, I'll be able to take multiple of the same color, which I believe is allowed. When you roll a crown, you can take any one gem you want, or you can take multiples as long as the multiples are the same color or the same shape. So you can kind of see how rolling the same colors, at least as far as getting them into the airlock is concerned, can be very, very beneficial to you if you're trying to fill up an entire row. Now, gameplay is going to repeat like this over and over again as we take different gems and move them down into the air, rolling that color as long as we are on that letter. If we land on a cannon space, that's a cannon that has fired at our ship, and we lose 1 sail. And that will happen every time we land on the cannon space. Even if we moved off and back on, we'll lose sails as long as we land on a cannon space. There are only 2 of these to worry about, but we can get our sails back. If you land on a maintenance space, of which there are 2, you can get a sail back. And you can do that no matter how many times you land on that space. As long as you land on the space, you get your sail back. A bit RNG, I suppose. But anyways, moving on. We continue to land on lettered spaces, rolling the die, moving diamonds from the treasure chest into the indicated airlock. There are some things that can happen, though, at this point. Let's say that you have exhausted the treasure chest of all of its supply of one particular color diamond, so you land on a letter and you proceed to roll, and you roll a red. If you have exhausted the treasure chest of its red, you can actually roll again. You don't have to be stuck with not moving, not taking any treasure from the treasure chest. You simply roll again. If it's red again, you roll yet again. But if it's another color, then you are able to take that color. Now, of course, this might happen. There's the possibility that it might happen that you've got that color gone too, in which case you will simply roll again. And in this case, if I roll a green or a red, I will simply roll again until I get a blue, a yellow, or a wild. And of course, if you are down to where there's only 1 color left in the treasure chest, it's very unlikely to happen due to the way the RNG distributes. But if that happens, I wouldn't even bother rolling the die. I would just take the single color and place it into the airlock. You can, of course, land on a letter and then roll a crown for an airlock that is completely empty, in which case you will proceed back to step 1 and spin the spinner. And some letters that you land on won't even be useful, meaning that you'll spin the spinner again. Just start from step 1 and go. There's no real penalty for making repeat moves or moves over and over again, trying to grind. You just got to be careful not to run into the cannons. And if you are playing the timed version of the game, you've only got so long before your rank will drop. It is a pretty simple game once you get into the gameplay loop. They believe that it's possible to complete this game in 10 minutes as a child solo play, going through these motions, these basic actions over and over again as fast as possible. But I thought that all of that sounded really fascinating, as simple as it is, because you have these 2 different boards. You've got the 2-board component, and I mean, it would be very simple to combine these onto a single board, yes, or even some sort of modular card layout deal, fine. But there's something about 2 boards that changes the feel of the game, and feel is something that I've talked about before on the channel. The feel of a game can be very, very important. It can subtly make or break the game for a variety of audiences out there, even though nothing has mechanically changed. At any rate, Save the Crown Diamonds is a very visual and very tactile game, and this can be just a fun game to play as an adult if you'd like some time to sit and refocus your thoughts. I'm a strong advocate of mental health, awareness, and self-care, and this game might just be the exact thing you would need for that. Tweak the rules a little bit if you'd like, ditch the timer, and just enjoy a relaxing night in of collecting diamonds into airlocks and then putting those diamonds from the airlocks into your ship's hold. It can be extremely rewarding to be parked on the letter A and roll a crown and have all of these diamonds in here, because now you can take all the diamonds of the same color, and we'll just go ahead and take all 5. We don't need all 5, really. We just need 3 because we need 3 of the one particular shape, and we'll just place those, filling them in here in the cargo hold of the ship. And now all of our green diamonds, all 3 shapes of the green, they're secure. They're good to go. We've collected the crown diamonds in that sense. Filling these in, matching the shapes, this can be tactilely rewarding. You always have a progress indicator of how far along you are in your goal. You have a pretty strong visual on what's left to do. Just comes together really, really well. And that, brave heroes and young heroes alike, is Save the Crown Diamonds, Captain Krabbus Academy. I don't know if there are variations of this game to warrant the subtitle, or if it's just letting you know that that's the overall theme. Captain Krabbus here is a very fun character. He's got nothing on my dragon, Cornelius, but at any rate, thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, brave heroes, onward.